week. That
Oh, yeah.
became his regular.
Oh, yeah.
Now,
I think in the winter time, sometime he took off.
when it was quiet.
But he used to sleep in that truck up in the top over
Right.
the cab.
Would he bring his wife down with him, Leah?
Yeah, I think her name was Leah,
Yes.
and she died.
Mhm.
And then he met another one that was Molly.
Molly. So he would come down from New York every weekend
Hmm.
and spend the night, Friday night,
In the truck.
in the truck.
Yeah.
And then he'd be there all day Saturday doing either performing or selling his products.
Yeah.
Did you ever help him with selling, or he just did
No.
that? Yeah.
No. I was just content to sit there and watch the old man.
Did he have you perform at Zern's?
One time he had me up there and he had me lift this hammer. He said, I want to show you people something. And he got me, he said, Slim, come on up. And he put my hammer
You were
down.
in the audience when he told you to come on up.
Yeah, well, I had my hammer with me.
Uh-huh.
And I lifted and several guys came up and they couldn't budge it an inch. And then the one time he said, get your hammers ready, Slim. I said, where are we going? He said, we're going to Madison Square Garden to do a show.
Did you, at this time, were you able to do two hammers at the same time?
Oh, yeah.
So you could do one with each arm,
Yeah.
and then you developed the technique for doing two at the same time.
Yeah.
Is it harder to do two? You
No.
find it?
Not for me.
When you go up to your hammer, and thanks to the mighty Adam's advice, you're looking at the handle, the stick.
Yeah,
And
I don't even think about the head.
You don't think about that. So what do you do when you go up to do your performance? How do you prepare mentally and physically?
After a while, I didn't, but like I say, that first night in Madison Square Garden, I was ready to shit a brick.
Yeah.
And Adam come up and he said, forget that metal part, just lift up these two sticks. And from that day on, I never looked at those heads.
Did you prepare by taking, say, deep breaths, or did you do
No.
any kind of
No.
meditation?
Well, like I say, I was breaking rock all day long, 7 days a week with a sledgehammer. Them sledgehammers were like toothpicks to me.
Mm. So you brought your own hammer with you, and did you use the same hammer for years and years then?
No, I have my hammer. After a while, I chrome plated. I showed it to you, didn't I?
Yeah.
I have chrome plated
Yeah.
ones. I thought they would show better. And when the people were taking flashes,
Yeah, it would be bright.
yeah,
It's a good idea.
I had that myself.
Yeah. So what other feats did you then perform when you were traveling or going with the Mighty Adam? You did your hammers. Did you
Well,
do
I
any-
started bending steel bars. You see all these bars here, and they were breaking chains on my chest.
And you would still do it your way, bending
Yeah.
down, not the Adam's way, which
Yeah.
is bending up.
He said, here you can use your shoulders and your chest muscles like that there. And I just took like that and I bent it like that.
And you would bend it without really giving it much thought.
Right. I didn't have to because I knew if that little Jewish guy could do it, I damn sure could do it.
You weren't going to let him show you up when it came to bending metal.
Yeah, but I wasn't biting no damn chain in there.
So you had your metal, and of course you would bend some of it into loops and curls. And
Yeah. But it got very expensive because I was buying a lot of iron at the iron mill.
Mhm. And the same thing with the chain.
Yeah.
When did you develop your technique for busting the chain?
That was the first thing.
Oh.
I figured if that little Jewish guy can do it, I damn sure can do it.
Mhm. So what did you do? How did you start up? You just put the chain around your.
I built
Yes.
the belt and I figured it out.
You figured it out without.
The hard part about it was to get the belt to the right size.
To compress it enough to get it in. Yeah.
So you had tension on it without really putting any tension on it.
Right.
Boom!
You had to be careful, right? Or otherwise you could crack a rib, right?
I never really thought about it.
So you never cracked any ribs?
No. No. The only bones I ever broke was these here from lifting the hammers.
Uh-huh. Now,
And I broke one in my arm.
in your arm. Now, you saw the mighty Adam doing the chains, busting the chains. So you had seen him perform at Zern's do that trick. And that's when you kind of came up with your own belt and your own technique for doing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then did you then show Mighty Adam how you did it, or
Yeah. Yeah.
But you didn't try it with your teeth.
No, 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 no. No.
So this would have been a time when you were probably about late 20s, maybe early 30s. Mighty Adam was performing at Zern's.
Mid-20s.
Mid-20s.
Yeah.
And you would travel with him. Did you go to other places?
I went to this one up in Stowe, up above Stowe. There used to be a sale ground up there. Mm-hmm. And then the one time I went to another market out in the Dutch country.
Mm-hmm. And you were, at this time, you had already moved to Pottstown, right? You were not in Norristown or Collegeville anymore.
I moved to Collegeville.
You were still in Collegeville.
Yeah. And then when I moved up here.
And we're technically in East Coventry.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you moved up here about what year? Do you
I have no idea.
Yeah. Okay.
You'll find out when you get old. Your brain starts floating off with the butterflies.
Yeah, well, you still have quite a bit of brain left.
Yeah. I never had much brain.
Much more brawn than brain.
Yeah. Thanks to the atom.
Mm-hmm. Did he give you any guidance on any of these other things that you did, or
no?
He just
well,
let you do?
I would imagine sometime here or there he did, but I don't recall it.
Mm-hmm. Now, he was a strong individual, but he apparently used his brain as much as he used his brawn.
It was more mind over matter
for him.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And did he ever talk to you about that? What he did to prepare in his mind, get his mind clear?
He always told me your mind is stronger than your body.
Mm-hmm. Even though you didn't use your mind at all.
No.
No,
all I ever used was that time in the high school when they said least likely to succeed.
And that was your mind. That was your image.
Yeah.
But what was it then from his? What was he doing? Did he tell you how he prepared? Did he show you?
No.
When he went up to do his performance,
I used to just sit there and watch him and be amazed by him.
What other places outside of this area did he take you? I mean, you went to New York. Anywhere else?
Well, at that time we went to do the show in New York. He told me to get my stuff ready. I said, "Where are we going?" He said, "We're going to Madison Square Garden."
And were there any other performances that you did outside of in other cities or?
No. Well, I had gone down to Philadelphia with him where he pulled a car down the street with sick people in it with his hair.
When you did that, I guess it was a big crowd.
Oh yeah. Well, the streets were lined with people.
Mm-hmm. Did you perform as well at that time? Or was it just the Mighty Adam?
No, just Adam. I couldn't compete with him.
Remember, at the time, too, he's about 70 years old when he's doing this, right?
Right. He was always old.
With you. You weren't alive when he was young.
No. No.
Would he ever tell you stories about his youth or,
I don't recall.
Texas?
I don't recall. When you get old, your brain starts floating off into the clouds. Mm-hmm. Well, like I say, my wife used to say Adam was her only competition. Mm-hmm. And date night was Friday and Saturday up at Zern's. And she used to just sit there and watch me have a good time with Adam.
Was she very friendly and close to Adam as well?
My wife?
Yeah.
They never really talked. It was always Adam and me.
But she felt comfortable.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. She knew how much I liked him, and appreciated being with him. But I never forget that I was ready to shit a brick at one time. He said, "Get your hammers ready, son." I said,
Yeah.
"Where are we going?" He said, "We're going to do a show in Madison Square Garden." And here I am, ready to shit a brick, and I can't lift my hammers, and Adam's down there. He's taking a nap on the bench.
Yeah.
20,000 people!
Now Shirley was not with you. She was back here with the children.
Right, right.
Okay. So she didn't travel to these
No.
performances with you. She
No.
had. She was still doing.
She was
home
busy
duty.
with all them kids she had.
Yeah, all those kids she had. Yeah. And they were, of course, growing up and going to school. And
Uh-huh.
how did you feel being a father?
I didn't really think about it. She told me, "They're yours and you're going to support them." And I did. But like I say, my wife always used to say Adam was her only competition.
Yeah. Do you feel you had a happy relationship?
With my wife?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. She was Dutch. And she only stood about this high.
Mm-hmm.
And she used to holler at me. And I used to say, "You know, you Dutch ain't much." And she said, "You know, you hunkies are as dumb as a donkey." And she wouldn't take no crap off me because she was Dutch. But that was the only girl I ever fell in love with.
Mm-hmm.
And I miss her to this day. Like I say, I still go down to the cemetery and hold a defibrillator in my hand and think about how wonderful she was. And I wish I could be in that coffin with her. And when my daughter Penny can't find me, she knows it's 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning. She knows where I'm at. I'm down at the cemetery.
Mm-hmm.
And the cops came in, carousing around the place, making sure everything's all right. And they shined this floodlight on. They were close as him in the car. And I'm just sitting there in my chair with a little flashlight looking at my wife's picture. And they shined this floodlight on me. And I said, "You better turn that light off or I'm coming over and stick it up your ass." There was 2 cops in the car. And they pulled off and they went down to the corner where the caretaker lived. And he came up the next morning. He said, "I heard you had company last night, Slim." And I said, "Yeah, the cops." I said, "Almost someone standing there looking at my wife's picture with a little flashlight. I wouldn't bother her. I wasn't digging up no graves or nothing." He said, "Yeah, I told him to stay the hell away from you, the night watchman." And I still go down there. Sometimes I miss her.
Yeah, and you miss the Mighty Atom as well.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Now he was like the father you wish you had. I take it.
My dad had a good heart, but he drank too much.
Mighty Atom didn't drink at all, did
No,
he?
no. And my dad used to beat the shit out of me till one day I started looking down at him. I said, "Those days are over." He said, "Why?" I said, "'Cause I'll kick the shit out of you." And that was the last time he ever hit me.
Well, but your relationship with the Mighty Atom, Joe Greenstein, was different.
Oh yeah. I was just amazed by him.
He treated you like a prodigal son.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Like I say, my wife used to say he was the only competition she had.
So for a number of years, you would perform with your Slim the Hammer Man, act either with the Mighty Atom or by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Was there a time when you were out on at doing your performances and maybe you realized that the Mighty Atom was no longer around, that you were that maybe you were doing this now you were free and you didn't have any other influence around you?
Right. It was like that. But like I say, I thought that man was amazing. He was just amazing. like I say, the aprons that I sold to the Jewish people, they were all rich people and little people. And here I am, this Juby, and he's standing on a stool, and I'm still looking down at him, and he's so strong.
But didn't you know his background?
No,
He never told you how he grew up a lot poorer than you ever were.
he might have, I don't recall. When you get old, your brain starts floating off with the butterflies. But when they were going to junk that truck, I said, no, you're not. And I hired a tractor trailer to come up there and winch it up on there and put it in the yard.
When you remember when in the Mighty Adam's final days,
No,
were you with him at the time?
no. But I did go to his funeral with Mike, his son. And Mike's a very nice guy too. And now, I think Mike passed away too. And I can't look at that truck without picturing Adam in the back of it, standing on a platform doing this stuff.
So at the Mighty Adam looked at you as the person who would probably continue the,
I don't know what he was thinking.
continue the heritage.
Who knows what's going on in Juby's mind?
Well, you're surrounded by him here in your dungeon. You can't leave him.
No, like I say, my wife said he was the only competition she had. I never even looked at another woman. I fell in love with my wife. It was the only girl I was ever out with, and I married her. And every time she got pregnant, from we come home to the doctor, I said, how'd it go? She got pregnant. I said, it ain't mine. She said, I know, but you're going to pay for it anyway.
And you did.
Yeah. 5 of them. She lost one.
Mm-hmm. Now, did you, after the Mighty Adam passed, and you took all his memorabilia, his the items that he had bent, the chains that he had broken. You got all these items and all the photographs. You then put them in the dungeon here, and you put them up on the wall. Was that you felt that was more of a shrine, or just to remember?
I don't know.
by?
It just felt to me like this thing I wanted to do.
And a lot of these photos, of course, are from you, from your performances, and the awards that you received. But there's something about this dungeon that pervades it when you walk in. And I'm a stranger here compared, obviously, to you. But when I walk in here, I feel the Mighty Adam in this room.
Yeah.
It's still here. I feel that.
Yeah.
And you do too.
Yeah. Like I say, there's this nail bed over there that he used to lay down on. There's a picture of him in there with and you see all the marks on his back. Right here. Get it?
Yeah, sure.
See all the marks on his back?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Did you ever try doing that?
No.
So that was strictly the Mighty Adams.
Yeah.
So there were some things that were strictly him.
This is
That
all
you would never
Adam's
do.
stuff here. That's all stuff he bent.
Well, I think that this is a good place to probably take a break.
Yeah, I gotta get some oil in this heater because I'm freezing.
Okay.